Ladies and gentlemen, this is Julien Masson from Adrenaline Combatives, and I'm here with Matei Florin from Tribe 13 and Tactical Combat System. How are you doing, brother?
Hi, brother. Very good.
Yes.
Happy to see you and to clarify a little bit about our program following, like a preview of our event.
I think that's a good idea as well, so people know what to expect. First of all, they should expect an epic seminar.
Yeah.
With two knowledgeable individuals and people that love what we do, don't we? So we're gonna definitely put a good program out there. So I pass it over to you, man. What do you want to work on that day? What do you want to come and teach us?
So basically, as we were talking also before, it's the type of program that I am bringing. It's something that you don't find very often in these days. So we have different schools, different systems teaching different things, but all focusing on the combat aspect. So, okay, very good. I will also make this because the program that I will teach, it's also based on the idea of kill or heal. So basically, when we speak about killing or incapacitating, I will teach elements from tactical combat system. This means deploying of the weapon from appendix position, ambushing techniques, counter ambushing, attacking our target, creating distance, trying to evade, dirty type of tactics, using clothing, using angles, palming our blade, preparing ourselves for, like, if you are thinking a pre-fight scenario in which you have the time to prepare your weapon because you are able to identify different type of signs. It's better to prepare your weapon because criminal individuals will have their weapon prepared. They will hide it in their pockets, but they will have it in the hand in the majority of the situations. So waiting for me, even if you are good to deploy your blade from various positions, will never be more efficient and faster than prepare yourself and have that blade, I don't know, hide it. We discuss about this, of course, this in the situation in which we have the luxury of identifying a pre-fight or pre-ambush situation.
Which is not always the case, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not, of course. This is the reason why we put focus also when the ambush is already starting and what we are doing in that moment when we were not able to identify the threat before. This is one element that is very important, and I will do my best, like always, to make the people with simple teaching and simple knowledge to acquire some information, and that information to put it after implemented in their training. Because as we know, a seminar, it's very good. In a seminar, you can learn things, but the days are not enough so somebody can exit from there an expert. But you can take information, pieces of information, so you can implement it after in your training and continue your study. This is the first element, part of my program, and the other is healing. So healing is based on the trauma medical care. What is meaning this? What is the idea if I can use my fire weapon? It's not the case for UK, but my fire weapon, my knife, my other improvised weapon, to eliminate a threat, to protect my life, my family, or the ones around me. If until I do that, that individual, that attacker, or multiple attackers were injuring to death me or one of my members or the ones around me, a massive bleeding situation, a stabbing, laceration of artery, important artery. So I can eliminate that threat, and then maybe I am in a danger situation where, imagine a terrorist type of attack in which somebody, like it was also in UK with these guys with the knives taped with duct tape, and maybe you are in a building and the people are dying near you, and the paramedics cannot come until that threat is not eliminated and police is clearing all the place. So one particular important element is to have the tools and the knowledge to be able to maintain alive a victim until professional medical care is arriving.
Yeah.
And in seminar, of course, I'm talking only about injuries created with knives, pointed objects like knives, or we talk also about, because in the majority is the same type of, we talk about massive bleeding or open pneumothorax, chest wounds, where we apply tourniquets. We will have all the equipment I have prepared already. Each participants will have their own tourniquets, combat gauze, compress gauze, chest seal. So they will have the hands-on learning how to apply these things. This is like a short resume of what I will bring to the people.
Nice. You know, we were talking about the fact that there's many schools when it comes to weaponry, you know, like some more traditional, some a bit more new age, some a bit more like modified and stuff, which is great, you know, like you, I like to have a look at everything, what everybody else does.
Exactly.
There's always a little something to pinch. But the point you were trying to make, where, you know, most people just focus on how to kill, how to fuck somebody up, and not how to fix them. And you said it. If you're in a situation, and that relates to the soldier skill set, to the military skill set, where you're in a war zone and people are getting shot, people are getting cut, people are getting wounded and killed, and having the knowledge of, you know, stop a heavy bleeding, being able to pack a wound, or being able to apply pressure or apply a tourniquet is something that could save a life. I mean, like you, bro. I could show you. One sec. This is my EDC. You know, I have it everywhere I go, and you know, I don't have a full things in there, but what I always have. I always have this, because this can fucking save your life, save somebody's life. So
yeah,
it's good.
This is the attitude, and this is the mindset that people must understand. Because also when we think rather from the other perspective, take an active shooter scenario. Yeah, take one of the most dangerous situations, terrorist attack, active shooter scenario. Even if you have skills, let's be realistical, skills with a blade. We are not in John Wick movies. There are few situations in which maybe you can use that as a last resort. Maybe if you barricade yourself in a room, you cannot evade, you cannot run from the danger zone, and you choose the tunnel through the threshold, the door, you choose an angle to ambush like a last solution using that blade. In rest, it's not, even if you want to be a protector, you cannot do it in that way. But this, yes, you will be able to do, to make a change, or to be, somebody that can change something in that situation if you have these tools and knowledge. Again, knives, weapons, very good, and doesn't compare with empty hands, and we need to have that skills. But we need to understand, and people, civilians must understand, that this must be a part of the future of an individual that wants really to be able to defend and protect himself, not only the combat aspect.
Yeah, it's a realistic skill set when you think about it. That's what you're saying. The bladed combat, like you said, there might be some situation where that might become useful, but it's very rare. It's the likeliness of you having to use your bladed skill in today's world. I mean, in normal circumstance, in normal countries, of course, if you go now to Gaza or you go to Ukraine, you got much more likely to have to use those skills. But I mean, in Europe, in where you are, yeah, where I am, this is much less likely to happen. But being able to apply a tourniquet, stop heavy bleeding, and apply first aids when you're a first responder is much more likely to happen. And so it's It's a more realistic skill set. So if people think about in terms of order, what should I train in priority? Then I think that the first aid is something that should be trained in priority and then combat. So to train to fix somebody and then train to destroy somebody. Or, or if you want to train it at the same ratio. But a lot of people just train a lot of combat, a lot of combat, and very, very, very little first aid.
Trauma medicine can be a little bit boring. Yeah. So if you don't know, if you only, I'm coming here and I'm speaking about the tourniquet and I don't know how you apply it and I'm showing on me and all this, not all they will be so fascinated about it. But in our event also we'll have different type of scenario-based exercises that is combining the use of a tool, of a blade in a different situation, and then the need to apply a tourniquet. For example, one of my, let's say, when I'm training with my students, or we make different type of drills, but also when I'm training alone, my drills for attribute development, but also the scenario-based type of exercise, are all the time combining trauma medicine with the blade. I'm not separating the both. When their brain are focusing 2 hours on medical, applying a tourniquet, and then they are going, I don't know, next day to a gym and they are making their combat application. But your brain must understand that this must be together. The time between you or somebody else to be stabbed from the moment in which you use your tool or your hand-to-hand skills or whatever you have, fire weapon, to the time in which you need from combat to pass to healing, to apply a tourniquet or to make a wound packing, it's very short. So all the time your brain must be accustomed with the idea and trained that these are not separately modules, are together.
I've thinking that makes a lot of sense. A lot of people see it separately. I think that that's why, I don't know you specifically, but for me, this is why I am going now more the side of combatives, because combatives is, most people don't understand what combatives are. They only see the physical aspect of combatives, which is the maximum use of force, the application of force, number 10, like, how to basically lethal application and stuff. Okay, this is combatives, but this is not only. Basically, combatives, if you look at it, combatives is the tier 1 operator skill set. That's what it is. Combatives should be empty hand, weapons, so unarmed, armed, firearms, driving, medical, counter custody, escapology, evasion, and lock picking and all that shit. All that shit is part of the tier 1 operator skill set, and that's what combatives are. So when people think like, oh, they just look at the physical application of it and they kind of like it to martial arts, but it's not like martial arts. It's pure combat application. And on the other hand, you got the bits of knowledge. Like, I'm gonna do my shooting soon. I'm going to Beirut 1 week after you coming here, and a few days after I'm going to Beirut for 8 days to shoot. So all this is for me to kind of prepare that type of skill set. Then the next thing that I want to focus on is the driving. So learning how to drive defensively, offensively, evasively is very important. I think it's a type of skill set is as important as shooting, fighting, or administering first aid, because now you give yourself the means to evade a situation, with your car. If you got your family in the car, then you need to be able to drive like your life depended on it. So that's the next thing I'm gonna do. There's some very good courses here in the UK. In fact, that's what they say, but they say in the UK some of the best courses in the world when it comes to driving. The courses that the police and the military do.
Okay.
So it's a bit pricey, but little by little we'll get there. We'll do all that. So, but that's what I think, as part of the combative skill set, this is what people should have. And like for this seminar, I mean, on my side of things, because I've scratched some things down of what we're gonna do, and I'm at heart, I'm a martial artist. Like I started with martial arts, and I only later went transition from martial arts to combatives.
Yeah.
I think it's the same for most of us,
Yeah.
So I'm still very, very attracted to attribute development drills and drills that make you a better practitioner, a better operative. Yeah. So there's going to be a lot of that. But basically, just to give you a little preview, you and guys, you will see my program on Friday anyway. We will bring some judgment adjustments if we need it. But basically, what there will be a little talk about weaponry and warfare tactics, what the seminar is going to be about. We'll speak about mindset, because I think that without mindset, all the shit that we're going to show is never going to happen. The emotional software needs to be on point for the physical hardware to be operational. Otherwise, nothing is going to come out. So
True.
I think we need a real good talk on mindset. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to speak about the 3 categories of weapons, because there is 3 categories of weapons. Then the 10 families of weapons, because there's 10 families of weapons. So we'll have a talk about all this. The 6 dimensions of combat. So because there are different dimensions, you got standing, long range, close quarter, extreme close quarter, vertical, extreme close quarter, horizontal, wrestling with a weapon, and then horizontal to vertical. You got all different dimensions in combat that we should have a look at each one if you want to be complete. What we'll have a look, and that's going to be interesting for a lot of people, is the combative principles, bladed. These are the principles, some of the principles anyway, that I've gathered through all the martial arts, the blade system that I've practiced, and kind of broken down into principle to get people to understand each principle and how they can make it work with a blade. We'll have a look at 3 different approaches. So ambush, rushing, and dueling, which are 3 different approaches. We'll have a look at all these. Then, I was thinking to talk a bit about concealment as well. I'm sure that you're much more versed in that, from what I've seen anyway. You're much more versed in that, so we'll see. We'll put things together.
Yeah.
Concealment, access, with a simple access and in-fight access. So 2 different ways. Either accessing nicely, relaxed from the fence, or now you're fighting, you're already wrestling, kind of arm drag and find a way to access your blade. So in-fight access. We'll have a look at attribute development, so various attribute development. And then from attribute development, we're going to go to fight development. So where now we're getting a bit more into the fight aspect of things. How to build a blitzkrieg, how to do that sort of things. Then slowly we're going to move to partner crossover, and then I was thinking to end this with full contact simulations, like scenario training.
Yeah,
I think you and I can work on this together and kind of.
We can combine. We can make particular type of scenario that we can combine the knowledge that they are acquiring, what we teach, until the scenarios to be at the end, so we can build together, so they can apply all the things that we are teaching in such a way. Also medical, also deployments, and so on.
That is good. That is good thing. So that's why I started to scratch some ideas down, but I wanted to wait for you. I will have some stuff already scratched down for the scenarios, and then we can kind of build something up. But for people to know what we're going to have a look at, obviously I'm going to speak about the 10 different families of weapons, but we're going to focus on the main ones, which are point and edge weapons, so bladed weapons, impact weapons, so long impact weapon or short impact weapons, and flexible impact weapon, which are cautious. If we get the time, we might focus a bit on flexible weapons, how to use flexible weapons.
Yep.
Like to strangle, to block, use the clothing, or all that stuff. If we got the time, we'll have a look at that. But so we have what I'm thinking, Matei. I'm thinking Saturday and Sunday, starting from 11 a.m. UK time to 7 p.m. That leaves us 8 hours for both days. That's pretty cool for people. I think that's, including the breaks and stuff, but I think 16 hours for 2 days is going to be good. It's going to be good. So, and I'm just thinking, so we got a few people so far, okay. I'm hoping to get some more people, but that, it doesn't really matter. We'll put the work in there. There's some good people coming already. That's the good thing. There's some good people. There's some a few UC instructors coming, so that's going to be good. And yeah, man, we'll make it happen. I'll show you around here. There's not too much to see in Manchester, bro. The weather is shit.
So it will be the first time.
Have you never been in the UK before, bro?
No? UK, yes, but London, not Manchester.
Okay, yeah. Manchester is a bit. People are a bit nicer in Manchester. When you go to London, people don't give a shit. People just bump into you, don't say sorry. Like everybody is just going to work, and it's a very fast-paced environment, London. And then you move to other cities, and you just realize that other cities are much more relaxed. Manchester is much more relaxed city. It's big, though. Do you know what I mean? Manchester is big, but the people in here are more down to earth. You can actually talk to people in the street. In London, you speak to people, they don't even reply to you. Do you know what I mean? People are rude in London. Not everybody, I'm not going to say everybody, but that was my impression of it. Manchester is much more relaxed, mate. There's some good food place as well. You like Lebanese food?
Yeah.
One sec. You're here on Monday. You live on Monday, yeah?
Friday I am there. Yeah, I'm leaving Monday. Yeah.
Okay. I hope this place is open. If it's open, we'll go there, man. It'll be good. So I'm just thinking, what can we add to this? Is there yes? Is there anything that people need to bring with them?
So I don't know what you are having. So if they are having their personal knife trainers. So if people are having knife trainers, yeah.
I have lot of.
Yeah, but you know that people, for example, if I'm buying my real blade, I will want that my trainer is very similar to the blade that I'm carrying. Okay, no, in UK with the blade it's not going so. But in the idea that people are practicing and are training with the blades and they have their own trainer, we can bring their own trainer. So also,
I have mine, but I don't think that people will have that. They'll just have to have the rubber knives that we're providing. But I have this. One sec. So the two things that I use is this one was made by American. It's a training blade, but it's got the Kydex.
Mm-hmm. It's very important. This is the reason why I all the time say that people that are training with the blades, it's important to have a similar trainer, because with a similar Kydex sheet or something, because if you are training, okay, now it's a seminar, we are focusing on other elements, but in general, people are training with knives only starting with having the blade in the hand. And
people don't work on access.
Yeah, in reality, that is the most important thing, access for the blade. So, yeah. We will have different, I will focus, they will see, we will focus on different exercises in such a way that we also simulate a little bit the changes that can happen in a real type of situation. Like we'll use a little bit also, like you say, the scenario. So we do some stress, some physical, a little bit effort. So the heartbeats are increasing, the respiration is increasing, some, things that can simulate what is happening, because like with the tourniquet also is the same. Everyone can learn to put a tourniquet in this moment, in a relaxed environment.
The pressure is different.
Like all the time I'm talking with the people and I say, okay, because are coming and they are saying, I'm putting very fast now a tourniquet with two hands or with one hand on the hand. And then I'm coming with a different scenario and I say, okay, now you are in a car, you are driving with your family, you have your tourniquet in the lateral pocket, cargo pants, let's say, you have an accident, you are a few seconds knocked from that shock of the accident, you wake up, your hand is stuck between the car metal, you're bleeding from a femoral artery on the leg, your wife is unconscious, and you must apply now your tourniquet with one hand to your leg. You never train. It's very hard. It's possible, but if you are not putting yourself in this type of scenarios, it can happen, and you don't know how to make it. So this is a very important thing that people must understand, that how you say at the beginning, mindset is very important. And training, when you are training, also when you make knife application, when you make trauma application, the visualization and help of the brain to visualize what is happening in different scenarios is very, very important. Otherwise, if I'm going also when I'm training to a dummy and I'm only performing an automatic drill, that will not help so much. But if you are using the brain, like what is happening, stabbing, perforate, blood exiting outside, scenario in which you can use fake blood or something else, increasing respiration, I don't know, a bucket of ice, putting the hands there, simulating that you lose the fine motor skills, so your fingers are not moving the same like in reality, and then applying the tourniquet, it's something else. So this seminar, people must understand these 2 days. We are giving them knowledge, but this knowledge must be after implemented in their training. Otherwise, it's remaining something that is coming and going.
Yeah, no, that's important. Stress, like pressure testing everything, put everything in the lab, simulate realistic conditions, like simulate the adrenal dump with, you know, like pre-fatigue, disorientation beforehand. We'll add some of that. Anyway, people that come to my seminar are used to a bit of that already. I'm sure you'll bring a different way to do it, which is good. Do you know those?
Yeah.
Those are pretty good as well.
I am not a fan of folding knives, but yeah.
It's good to learn how to. You know what? I tell you, the fixed blade is relatively easy to access if you know how to do it. This requires a bit more fine motor skills to open with the t-shirt, with the pocket, with the jean pocket and stuff like that. But I think is good to train as well.
I didn't say that I'm not teaching or I'm not training this, but
I prefer this.
In some points, different things. The idea also, this is the reason that people must understand that what we are teaching them, the skill sets or the techniques, basically principles that we are sharing, can be applied. For example, what I'm teaching with a knife can be applied also if tomorrow we don't have a knife, but they have a screwdriver, or they have a pair of scissors, or they have something else, because the techniques are based on penetration, stabbing, and can be done with various objects. Yeah, that is a very
I also, there's one thing I wanted to touch on and make sure that, because we're in the UK and I'm getting bollocks there all the time because of the stuff that I teach, people tell me,
I believe
what you're doing now, this is too dangerous, this is that, you know, you're teaching people to go to jail and stuff. And so, you know, people, you know, the mentality of people nowadays, how it is. I understand what we teach, but not everyone understands what we teach and how we teach. And I think that it will be interesting and important to give them the context in which this.
All the time we work on this first, it will exist the situation and scenario for which we are teaching that, because people are seeing you stabbing somebody 20 times or making something, but they don't understand the scenario that maybe you have before that. Because if I'm putting you now in a situation in which you are in an active shooter scenario, let's take the weapons. Terrorists, like it was in UK, tapped with knives, entering in a building, you are barricaded in a room because you are not able to run with your family or others,
Yeah.
you will do whatever you can if you have a blade to eliminate that target. It's not the idea of having a fight in the traffic. Somebody is slapping you. I take my blade and stab him 20 times in the neck. So
it is different, and you see the problem is, I think there's many things that come into play with this, but I think that people are living too much in this world where the police is the answer for everything. And look, for example, a terrorist attack. How many people die before the police arrive? When the police arrive, it's done. It's done. Everybody's dead or wounded. Do you know what I mean? So really, the type of skill set that we put out there, all the bets are off. At that point, when you're being attacked and somebody is offering you deadly force and you're facing multiple armed assailants, the police is not there for you. The law is not there for you. The judge is not there for you. No one is there for you but yourself. So at that point, you need to access the most resourceful state and the most aggressive response that you can possibly get. And people don't understand that. People look at videos like what you do or what I do, and they're like, whoa, they get shocked by it because they're more scared of, they can't visualize this type of scenario, first of all. Yeah. And they're more scared of the law. They're more scared of going to jail than they are scared of losing their loved ones or losing their life. And that's a big problem, because now you have people that, in order to be an accredited teacher that's accredited by governmental governing bodies and stuff like that, people like you and I can never do that. They will never accept what we teach because we are taking our own responsibility. And that's why I said to people, your safety is your responsibility. The safety of your loved one is your responsibility, not the police, not the judge over there, because nobody gives a shit. The bottom line is nobody gives a shit. Nobody's gonna, even the police, when they arrive, they're not obliged to help you. They're gonna hide first. They're gonna protect themselves. It's like a first responder. What do they teach you when you're a first responder? First, protect yourself. If you don't protect yourself, the casualty. So that's the same thing. I think that people in the West are living in a dream where they think they're safe, and that they just rely on the police and rely on all that. And when they look at what we do, they think we're crazy.
I'm totally right with what you are saying. I give you a simple example. It was the last terrorist attack that was happening in Moscow. I am
I've heard about it. Yeah.
Not interested about politics stuff. I don't know why it was happening, if it was a red flag. I'm talking about the situation. And you were saying at the beginning that combatives, for example, it's the the knowledge of learning different skills. And I find also this type of idea from the people many times. Why I must train to use a fire weapon if in my country I cannot carry a fire weapon? And I was watching this situation. I was having many videos from this incident with the terrorists in this building. And one particular, it was dragging me attention from two reasons. It was 20 meters at the entrance when they are entering the terrorists inside the building. They were shooting with the AK-47s. Yeah. So why you need to operate or to know about weapons? Identifying noise of shooting. So the first ones that they were killed at the entrance were staying at 20 meters, hearing gunshots, looking, also seeing that they are entering. And this is one, not being able to identify the gunshots. Second, they were hiding out behind the pylon, and one young guy was taking two wooden tables and put it in front to cover from an AK-47. So if you really don't, you are not wanted to learn with a blade how to incapacitate somebody because it's too violent. But there are elements that can help you, even if you are not this, you don't have this type of behavior to make with the knives because you consider that it's, I don't know, it's putting you too much in danger. But you can help yourself or others by having knowledge about what is a cover, what is a concealment. Concealment is concealing your body. Cover is protecting you, bullets, to not be hit by bullets.
Yeah.
Yeah, the idea of run, hide, fight. Again, okay, you are not a fighter. Run. Where do you run? You run in chaos everywhere. If you don't have a environmental awareness, identifying from the beginning, exit, emergency points, some points where you can break a window and jump from the first floor, breaking your legs and crawling outside, still alive. Yeah, you will run like all the people being on a door trying to evade and being killed because you don't have where. Hiding. People are hiding. Where they are hiding? In the majority of the situations, active shooters, they are hiding under desk or in the closet, like fetus position, coming active shooter directly in the head. It's not permitting you that position to fight.
Yeah.
We all are together and people are not understanding and they are thinking, okay, for what to learn trauma medicine, for what to learn, I don't know, why to go to shoot with a handgun or to identify how to know to have some knowledge about some handguns or something.
Yeah.
So it's very true what you are saying, because people, if they really want to become protectors of their own life and the ones around, especially in this society, it's a set of skills. Not only, it's not, we don't live 20 years ago when you make some boxing, you exit outside, you give some punches. I'm not scared of taking beating. I was taking many beating in my life. I'm scared of the individual that maybe tomorrow has a hidden blade and you will take my life. That are the dangerous situations.
Yeah.
The beating situation. When you have multiple aggressors, armed with blades, armed with weapons. So people must change this, and if they have the opportunity, they must learn different elements. Doesn't matter that it's a metal baton, a knife, a fire weapon, trauma medicine, and other kind of things. This is my view.
I agree with that 100%, mate. And it comes with what? It comes with taking our responsibilities and not passing on the responsibility to a third party like the police or the government or this, which are generally, let's face it, there are people that don't give a fuck about us anyway. You know what I mean? So
exceptions sometimes. So there are also people that are making their job, and maybe they will break that door if it's an active shooter in a school. Yeah. You see many situations, but yes, there are also the other side.
So what I'm thinking, you see, for example, I was having that talk not too long ago because I was actually just renewed my close protection badge, so I had to do another training again, like a refresher. I met a really good guy, Phil Moulton, who is he used to be bodyguard for Whitney Houston, most of the many celebrities and football players and stuff, like very, very knowledgeable guy. Also like I think he's a 6th dan of karate, world champion karate, like good guy, very good guy, very knowledgeable. I've learned a lot of stuff from him. And we were talking about terrorism and what to do. And there is a training in the UK. If you want to have your security license, you need to do a training that's called ACT. ACT.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Action Counters Terrorism. Yeah. And it's a very good course, bro. I found it very interesting because it's talking about hostile reconnaissance, how to recognize hostile reconnaissance, how to engage people in a professional manner to dissuade them, what to look for, what to observe, how to speak, how to report the incident, what to do if you find a suspicious package, the protocol, like the HOT protocol, and all that stuff. I think is very important. And we were talking at some point about what you spoke about, which is in the US, it's run, hide, fight.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is in the UK? run, hide, tell. And I was like, mate, okay, because they're taking our right to they taking our responsibility away from us when they took our right to arm ourselves. You know what I mean? So now you got a program that basically it's called Run, Hide, Tell. So okay, run, like you say, run where? Where the fuck do you run? Are you the difference between evacuation and evacuation?
Yeah.
So sometimes look at some what happened in France with the Charlie Hebdo.
Maybe the situation is not starting with running; it's starting directly with covering or something else.
Yeah. Maybe it starts with hiding and then running and then ringing. Maybe you ring straight away. Maybe it's tell first and then run and then.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is that, sometimes it's like that. What happened in France? I think it was the Charlie Hebdo attack. Yeah, people evacuated and they got slaughtered outside because that was the plans of the terrorists to get them out. So sometimes the best thing to do is evacuation, is to go back in the building, lock the doors, and that's why I always say when I speak about awareness and I speak about the various type of awareness, and for example, environmental awareness, when you get into a place, get the map, the blueprint, study the blueprint, go and have a look, as a close protection operative, if I have to take a VIP into a venue for a business meeting, I have to go and recce that place.
Exactly.
I have to know where the fire exits are, where I'm gonna, what escape routes we're gonna take, extraction plan, all this shit needs to be in place. So at that point, I already know which walls are gonna provide with the cover, and where are the basically concealment places, where are the cover things that are gonna stop a bullet, a shrapnel, a fire.
Maybe a safe haven, a place where
absolutely, like a panic room, so room with a good door, a window that we can get out from, with the emergency stairs, all that crap. But if you have that knowledge, if you work in a building, people like you and I, we think straight away like this. Because if I work in a building, I want to know where the exits are and where I can run from. My extraction plan, which is my contingency plan, my EOPs, my emergency operational procedures. But if you think about this, what's happening in the UK, like the run, hide, tell. First of all, people don't know where to run. They're running like a headless chicken. You got the head of the chicken and he runs.
Exactly.
Like the rabbits when they're scared. They run in circles. Yeah. So you get people, they run, they don't know where to run, how to run. They don't know the difference between concealment and cover. That's the first thing. Second thing, hide. Where do you hide? It's like people need to be taught as well. Now the tell. So that means in no way, shape, or form. And I mentioned the trainer that I did my training with, Phil Moulton, because he's a very good guy. And we were having that conversation. I said, so run, hide, tell, and there is no fight in there. You go to America, this is called run, hide, fight.
Yeah.
Because at least they're taking the Second Amendment. They're taking their safety into their own hands, which I think is the right thing to do. I think it should be run, hide, tell, and in the worst case scenario, fight. But they don't even add fight in the British model
because this what it's doing. It's from the start. It's marking the individuals that they are in this situation like victims. So run and hide. So this is the only. You don't have the other variant in which it's existing there, the possibility to fight. Yeah.
I think all this is something I've been thinking about getting into and do like crisis rehearsal, So basically doing scenario training of active shooters, of like marauding terrorist attack inside a school or something, and give the teachers and the people that are working in that environment the training, and then do the scenarios, but very as realistic as possible scenario to trigger the emotional response and the adrenaline response.
Most important,
yeah. And the simple fact how to barricade a door. It's a very, this is a very crucial thing in this type of situation. How do you barricade the door? If you have nothing to barricade the door, what do? You know, there is ways. If you have 2 or 3 people, there's ways to keep the door locked, you know, without anything.
Or it's good to barricade the door because it can be a situation in which it's better to not.
Yeah.
If you're alone and you are with nobody, I am armed with the only thing that I have, like a knife or something, and I don't have tools and objects to barricade that. I will let that door open and being ready in the best angle to do something for my life if I cannot run or something. Okay, these are scenarios that is very easy to speak when we are in a relaxed. Yeah, it's.
Of course.
I don't want to pass to Hollywood movies, so the idea is that people need all this. How you are saying need to have basic knowledge from different things and to understand how you were saying that nobody is coming to save them in that moment. They must do something. Yeah.
You know what I'm thinking of? You know, all these killer movies, you know, these horror movies of young people going camping and like a crazy killer tried to kill all of them one by one. And you look at the movie and you're thinking the people are so fucking stupid in the movie. They're going the wrong way. They got the wrong mindset. Tell me if you're thinking like this. When I look at a movie like this, I'm like, right, from that moment, first of all, when I go camping, I always have something with me if I go camping. You know, that's first of all. So, and then second of all, if something happens, my mindset is going to be completely different. It's going to be right. Arm myself, and everybody should be armed. Everybody stays together, and you know, it's completely different. Like when you think about it, people are. I think that those movies are designed.
The same idea, yeah.
They're designed to make people stupid
and to think that they are victims. Yeah.
Imagine if they were making movies with proper strategy, proper tactical mindset strategies.
Exactly.
Like, you know, if that happens to soldiers, if that sort of situation happened to veterans, people that have been in the war in Afghanistan or in Iraq or something like that, they will have a completely different strategy, tactics, and approach. It'll be find the threats, eliminate the threats. That's it.
Yeah. But only that not all the people are former militaries and we must address also the normal civilian that this is also our job. So I want that more civilians and more people, and not only civilians, they can be also, professionals that they are working in law enforcement or other parts, but they want to be more prepared and make a change. And that is starting with the idea of exiting from that box to understand that you need all these things that we are talking here. It's not only about, okay, I'm good with my fire weapon. I can shoot a paper target so good. So
combat shooting, like competition shooting and combat shooting, you know, is 2 very different things.
Exactly, and also combat shooting is done in the majority of the situation on a flat range with metal targets and paper targets. So it's more than that.
It's not, yeah. I guess when somebody is shooting at you, your heart is pounding in your chest and you're fucking shaking and your friends are dying next to you, and it's completely different. And that's you know, for example, when you shoot the precision shooting where you're at the range and you got your sight picture, sight alignment, you're breathing nicely, foot positioning, weight distribution, trigger squeeze, follow through, all this shit, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna trying to put the round as close as possible to the bullseye, yeah. But when you're stressed,
nothing of that, yeah,
everywhere.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
Do you remember that movie Pulp Fiction?
Yeah.
Do you remember when Samuel L. Jackson and John Travolta, they're going to kill that guy on the chair, and that guy is coming out with a revolver. He's shooting everywhere, and he's all around them, and they're looking, and then they fucking kill him. But it's the same. The guy was very close, but he was so stressed that he missed.
Exactly.
Everything he missed it. So that's what I think. I don't know what you think, man, but I think the type of training, if like you do pre-fatigue, like running, burpees, maybe carrying a heavy, the heavy sandbag and stuff, running with it, going back, do some push-ups, burpees, and then try and put rounds in the target and see, it's already pressure. Now you're like pressure shooting, pressure testing, shooting. I think
that is one element you are doing on the flat range. Then you can combine it with force on force type of training, with simulation, with changing in a building that you can use and, I don't know, clear the room, slide the pie and so on, and you have another individual that can shoot with simulation towards you, so you have a perspective type of a more 360 degrees area of seeing and clearing, not only shooting to a paper target. So all they are coming together. Learn to, especially when you work in a team, communicate, move, should communicate, and so on, like a circle. You must be able also to be able to communicate with other, transmitting the message that you want, also moving in the same time and shooting.
Yeah.
Right?
This is stuff, Matei, this is stuff I'm going to spend the next 2-3 years to acquire that training, because I always wanted to become CQB instructor, and I'm working on it. In the next 3 years, I'm gonna work to get to that. I already got the contact of the people I'm gonna train with, but I'm just gonna have to travel, because there's a lot of really good people out there. There is one guy, I don't know if you know, I've interviewed him several months ago, maybe 5 or 6 months ago, Bobby Gabershek. You remember? He's the founder of the CQB groups in Thailand.
Okay. Yeah.
So he's got some really, really good training going on over there as well. So I was thinking at some point to go over there and do a bit with him. Then there is the US. In the US, there's one guy, Tim Kennedy from Chicago.
Yeah. Mike Glover. There are so many good guys that they are professional at their level with a lot of experience. And
I'm going to the US this year for the first time, and I'm gonna stay there for a bit more than 2 weeks. So I'm gonna try to go and see a few people. I'd love to go and see. There's 2 people really that I'd love to go and see. It's Tim Kennedy or Craig Douglas.
Yeah. Also, Craig is making this force on force type of training. It's part, man, of the training. It's not enough, to use to shoot with a weapon, and when you have somebody in front and you fight for the weapon, it's something else. So
that is something I really want to get involved with, man. I think Craig Douglas is one of the top people in the industry. Like, someone I'd definitely want to train with and acquire knowledge from. In fact, I said to myself, I don't want to become an instructor under anyone. I just want to do my thing. But you know what? There's a few people I would actually do instructor training with them. Not necessarily to represent them or to do that, but to have the knowledge. Do you know what I mean? Instructor grade knowledge.
Exactly.
Craig Douglas is definitely one of those guys that
I'd love that everything is stopping in the moment in which you don't want to learn anymore. So a student, if you want to, I'm looking also at what I'm teaching. If I look 3 years ago of how tactical combat system it was, doesn't have nothing to do with what I'm teaching today. Why? Because I was learning more things. I was studying about body anatomy, many things, experiencing and trying to develop the system in a better variant, and that is the way. So that is the way.
Evolution and constant refining and evolution. Yeah,
exactly.
I think all this is important. Same thing here, man. I'm kind of evolving with what I'm doing. I don't know you, but I'm seeing just the way that my evolution goes. And sometimes for 6 months or maybe for 3 months, I'm gonna be focused on one area of training, and I'll be there. I'll be doing a lot, and I'll evolve with this, and then I'll be just put this to the side for a bit.
Yeah.
And I'll train something else. So
here I have the same thing.
Yeah.
I think our brain, the brain is in such a way made that you have a learning process and you reach a peak, and then it's the time that is finding another thing. But doesn't mean that it's going away, because again, it's coming a time when you take it back and you insist on that particular element.
To a new level. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be anyway. It's going to be good to meet you, bro. We'll have a lot of good chats and definitely a good seminar. So, for people that are interested to come to that seminar, we still got some spaces. So, if you want to jump on it, get in touch with me or get in touch with Matei, and we'll tell you where. So, Saturday is going to be New Mills. So about 30 minutes from Manchester, John Sentry Martial Arts, who's a good friend of mine, will use his gym on Saturday. And Sunday is going to be taking place from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. at All Powers Gym in Stockport, who is Panicos's gym, good friend of mine as well. So it'll be fun. And yeah, man, do you want to add anything, Matei, on...
No, I'm waiting to see the people, and so we make our stuff and we share with them some important things that it can help them in the future. So I want to add that everyone, I was forgetting or I was saying, I don't remember, everyone, it will have for the trauma medical classes, everything available. Tourniquets, gauze, compress gauze, chest seals, so everyone will work combined with the training that we are doing, combat and so on. So they will have some new skills. So after, they will be more prepared than before.
Yeah. Oh, very, very good. I got 2 Tony Blauer suits as well available for us. If
good, when you make the scenarios and this, it's very good.
Yeah. So we can use that. What else I was gonna say? Generally, people that come to my seminar are grabbing MMA gloves, groin guard, gum shield and stuff. I think it's more weaponry this time. So, but just in case, bring gum shield and groin guard. You never know, because as I'm gonna explain, it's not because you have a weapon in your hand that you can't use the rest as well. You see, there's a lot of people that when they use a blade, they got this emotional attachment to the blade, and that becomes the only thing they have.
Yeah.
They forget they have the other hand, the head, their teeth, the knees, the kicks. They got all that stuff available, which will make your blade much more dangerous, because now you can use your kicks for a long range to break the distance or create the space to come in with a blade. So I think there's so many good, interesting concepts and principles to share when it comes to weaponry in general, and kind of thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people think inside the box, and if you keep thinking inside the box, you're always going to regurgitate the same thing, same energy. When you start thinking outside the box, like I believe that you do as well, then you see different things, different approaches, and then you look at it and you're like, I should have thought of that. But see, people say, I should have thought of that. But you will not think of that if you keep thinking inside the box. And that's why a lot of people think inside the box. So on this seminar, on this weekend, we will do our best to think outside the box as much as we can, and deliver a good seminar. So you arrive on Friday, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll come and pick you up from the airport, and we'll organize ourselves from there.
Yeah. Perfect. We'll see each other. Cannot wait.
Awesome. Let me check. What's the time? Hey, just 1 hour. Look at that. Perfect. Isn't it? Awesome, Matei. Well, I tell you what. Like I said, anyone that's interested to jump on that seminar, get in touch with me either via Facebook or through my email. If you got my phone number, ring me, and I'll give you all the information for the seminar. All right. My friend, I shall see you on Friday. I'm just gonna cut this, but I'll have a little chat with you when we're offline. But we just say goodbye to the people for now, and see you this weekend, guys.